Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Sports Channel's season-long coverage of the Illinois High School Association. Today, the backdrop is in North Suburban Winnetka, New Trier High School for the 1997 Boys Swimming and Diving State Finals. Good afternoon, everybody. Hi, I'm Patrick Keenis, joined by the swimming coach from Glenbrook South High School, Tim Dowling. And Tim, if last night is any indication, we saw 5 state records broken. Today, we could see many more fall.
Yes, we had some great swimming last night. St. Charles led off with a record in the 200-yard medley relay. Oak Park River Forest came in and broke the record right after them. In the 200 freestyle relay, St. Charles did it again, and then Waubonsee Valley came and broke the record right after them.
And today, some of the feature performers in the individual competition, Tim Carlson from Naperville North sticks out.
Yes, Tim Carlson, he broke the record in the 200-yard individual medley last night, 151.00. He's going to try to drop that a little more today. We also have our second swimmer is Greg Bussie from Waubonsee Valley High School, the top seed in the 100-yard freestyle. We have Eric Von Gotham from Libertyville High School, the 2-time state champion in the 100-yard breaststroke. And our final swimmer that we're highlighting is Tim Berry from Oak Park River Forest, the top seed in the 500-yard freestyle.
And in the team competitions, thinned themselves out a bit last night. About 4 teams still in the running of Champaign Central, Waubonsee Valley, Oak Park River Forest. But I think the heads-on favorite right now is St. Charles. They really set themselves up very well.
St. Charles is the favorite. They've set themselves up with their best seeds. They've got their top 3 relays in there. Oak Park River Forest has an outside chance with some of their swimmers in the consolation finals. Really, though, St. Charles is the team to beat.
And we are ready for the 200 Medley Relay Championship bracket. Let's run down the lane assignments for the first event of the 1997 Boys Swimming and Diving State Championships. In lane 2, we have Lockport High School. Waubonsee Valley, one of the teams to watch, will be in lane 3. Oak Park, the top qualifier here for this event. In lane 4, they established a new state record yesterday in this event. In lane 5, St. Charles also broke the state record. Hinsdale Central in 6th, and Homewood Flossmoor in lane 7.
Okay, we had a state record here twice yesterday. St. Charles broke it with a 134.27, followed by a state record by Oak Park River Forest with 133.30.
And Oak Park nearly shaved about 1.1 seconds off of that state record, while St. Charles only barely breathed past by 1/100th of a second.
Some of the starts were a little close yesterday. They didn't take off quite as fast as they normally would. They want to make sure they made it to the finals. Now it'll be interesting. The teams on the outsides, they will probably be going after this a little bit harder.
He said one of the guys to watch, especially here in the first leg, which will be the backstroke, is the leadoff man for Oak Park, Tim Berry. He's a little under the weather today. Yeah. We'll see how much that is taken out of his stamina and endurance here.
We should see a lot of changes in this event. The backstrokers tend to get off. Tim Berry's a pretty decent backstroker. Matt Munns is a good backstroker. Robbie Roberts is a good backstroker for Hinsdale Central. But then you get into the breaststrokers. Adam Gazaskis from Oak Park. He was the star yesterday. He got them out to the big lead.
State record in this event established yesterday by the team in lane 4, Oak Park, 1 minute 33 seconds and 3/10.
Mr. Starter, take your mark.
And they're off. Oak Park, the team to watch in lane 4. In lane 5, St. Charles, Matt Munns will swim the backstroke leg. And an even start by the 2 teams in the middle. Hanging close, Robbie Roberts for Hinsdale Central in lane 6. So they make the turn, and Tim Berry comes out with a slight lead in lane 4. Closing in, St. Charles, Matt Munns in 5. And they will hit the wall. He will pass on to Adam Kazukis. And Oak Park with a good lead after the first leg.
Adam is wearing with a new suit. It looks like one of the girls' suits, creating less drag. Interesting to see. Did not wear it yesterday. Dan Knudsen is over in 5 for St. Charles. And up in lane 2, Dave Kimmerling seems to be moving up a little bit.
Nearly a body length lead for Oak Park as they hit the midway point of this 200 Medley Relay Championship. Hitting the wire is Kazukis. Matt Daggett, the junior, dives into the pool with a strong lead.
Matt Daggett had the fastest split of any butterflyer yesterday, so we expect him to hold on to the lead. We really expect Waubonsee Valley in lane 3 to be a little bit behind coming into this last touch.
Well, check out Shane Wilden in lane 5, making a big rush. He has closed the lead by over a half, but Oak Park still hanging tough by half a body length as they come to the wall for the final 50 yards. And there goes the freshman, Jamie Daggett, who is anchoring this final leg for Oak Park. And it's going to be a close one. Gavin Anderson in lane 5 of St. Charles right on his back.
Jamie Daggett's got a big enough lead. I don't think he can be caught. Greg Bussie's going to try to move into 3rd and hold his team in place for the state championship.
The final stretch, Oak Park will take the first event in 1 minute 33 seconds and 45 hundredths. They missed the state record they set yesterday by only 15 hundredths of a second.
What a great race. And here comes the last leg on our replay. Coming out of the turn, Jamie Daggett had a little bit of a lead. You can see he got up on top of the water a lot faster than Gavin Anderson. He's got a nice lead. He's not breathing very much. He's barreling in. Gavin is starting to close on him, and I think if they had another yard to go, he might have caught him.
So Oak Park takes it in the first event of the day. St. Charles second, coming in third, Waubonsee Valley. So coming up, we'll have the award ceremony for the 200 Medley Relay, and also coming up the 200 Freestyle. That's all next here in the 1997 Boys Swimming and Diving State Finals. Back in New Truro High School, Patrick Keenis and Coach Tim Dowling. First event of the day, Tim has finished up the 200-yard Medley Relay. And let's take a look at the results in the first race of the day. Oak Park set a new record in the state yesterday, nearly eclipsed that here today.
St. Charles was right on their tail all the way through, swam about a second faster than yesterday. This obviously is going to be an exciting meet. Waubonsee Valley did not fall far behind. They all held their positions. Hinsdale Central moved up a little bit. Homewood Flossmoor had a great time of 1:38.10.
And again, you hit it right on the head. We were talking about the team standings. Held true to form in that first race. Oak Park came in as the fastest preliminary qualifier, and they won the race. So we'll take it down to the presentation of the award ceremony here in the first race. It'll be done by the AD here at New Truro High School, Robert Naughton. New Truro, obviously the host of 1997. They've been the host for a number of years.
Yes, they've done an outstanding job over the years hosting this meet.
With a time of 1:35.
Our Hinsdale Central team.
And Hinsdale Central, a team that set a couple of records themselves last year. The graduation hit, and only one member of a couple of their relay teams returns this year, but another strong team. But really today it's down to 3 teams competing for the top spots.
And one of those is this one right here, Waubonsee Valley. Greg Bussie gave up an opportunity to swim 2 individual races, possibly being a 2-time state champion, to help his team win a state crown. And they helped it right there with a 3rd place finish in this medley relay.
And when you really zero in on the top 3 teams, talking about Oak Park and Waubonsee Valley and St. Charles, really all 3 of these teams established qualifiers in the final bracket of all the relays. So that kind of is a wash, although positioning is another key in terms of point production. But St. Charles has 5 different swimmers coming up in individual events later on today.
Right, if you don't get to your relays in the top 6, you really shut yourself out of a chance of winning the state championship. The points for relays are doubled, 32 points for first place, very important. And St. Charles and Oak Park have both established themselves right here.
And we hit on one of those swimmers in the open, talking about one who gave up one of the individual events, electing to go and trying to help his team out in swimming one more relay.
Right, Greg Bussie, he anchored the medley relay there for Waubonsee Valley. They got 3rd place, which is where they were seated to finish, and they did a great job. But that 3rd place points at 24 is a lot more than his first place could have done.
And Oak Park, comprised of Tim Berry, Adam Gazookas, Matt Daggett, and Jamie Daggett. Looks like they're going hunting after the swim meet today. They're donning their championship caps on the platform, presented by Robert Naughton, the AD here at New Truro High School. Oak Park winners in the 200-yard medley relay. 2nd place going to St. Charles, and Waubonsee Valley finishing 3rd.
And we'll see some more of the Oak Park swimmers a little later today. You've got Daggett in the 50 freestyle, and of course, we have Tim Berry in the 500 and in the butterfly.
2nd event of the day coming up, the 200 freestyle. Let's take a look at the lane assignments for this upcoming race. And there you see Oak Park River Forest receiving their medallions down in the pool deck.
A very happy group of kids.
So here's the 200 freestyle setup in the championship. Out of Stevenson, Bill Koplis in lane 2. Jay Glenn, there's a guy to watch out for in lane 3. Brought a little bit of home with him today, not just the fans from Frem, but he dumped a little bit of his pool water in the pool here at New Truro as he was coming onto the deck earlier today. Wesley Ebanks out of St. Charles in lane 4. Will Sensenbrenner out of Champaign Central in 5. Jeff Hall, Peoria Woodruff's entrant in lane 6. And from Waubonsee Valley to be Matt Malding in lane 7. And Tim, let's focus in on the Waubonsee Valley entrant in lane 7, Matt Malding. Really key for Waubonsee Valley to enhance their title chances. They need to pick up some points with him in lane 7.
Yeah, very important. Oak Park River Forest just picked up some extra points in the consolation heat. But what we're really going to see here in this 200 is a lot of experience. Jay Glenn was 2nd last year. Wes Eubanks was 5th. Will Sensenbrenner 8th, and Jeff Hall 6th. We have 4 returning swimmers. They all know what they're doing, so it'll be a great race.
Wesley Ebanks in lane 4 out of St. Charles. Yesterday's top qualifier. Better than a half second faster than the rest of this field. But again, they may be have been holding something back to save something here for this final race.
Definitely. Jay Glenn swam a very smart race yesterday. He went out easy. He sort of even split his races. He's a lot stronger swimmer than he gave us yesterday. I would expect to see him go a little bit faster. He's up in lane 3. Again, he was second place last year. I would expect to see him challenge for the championship.
And we will see him later on in the 100-yard backstroke also. So they are on their marks. And there they go. Clean start here in the 200-yard freestyle.
Jay is such a tall, long swimmer. He has a nice long reach with his arms. He gets off well. He's first one into the wall. He's out easy.
Jay Glenn out of Fremd in lane 2, a small lead as they come down to finish the first 50 yards. Glenn about a half body length lead. Just next to him is Wesley Ebanks in lane 4.
Yesterday he went out at a real easy 24 seconds. Today he's out at 22. He's 2 seconds faster than yesterday. He looks like he's after this race.
He seems in full control. Jay Glenn again touches first out of lane 3 from Fremd. Nearby Wesley Ebanks in lane 4. And then some further distances. This is turning into about a two-man race so far.
A two-man race. The state record of 137.34 set by Eric Maurer back in 1989 may be in jeopardy if Jay can really pick up his pace a little bit.
And you see Ebanks in lane 4. He's trying to draft a little bit off of Glenn, getting very close to that barrier in between lanes.
Will Sensenbrenner in lane 5 is making a little bit of move, but the race is really in control of Jay Glenn. He's really stroking very smoothly.
And he went that lap in 25.63. Leads by about 3/4 of a body length. Jay Glenn out of Fremd.
He's about a half a second slower than the state record. If he can come back very fast, he might have a chance at it.
And this will be the point where we see if he did save enough stamina to finish off this race. Jay Glenn in lane 3. Ebanks trying to make a charge in lane 4. Eating a little bit into the lead, but he's not going to catch him. Glenn will win it in 1:39.77, about 2.5 seconds off of the state record set back in 1989.
But still, it's such a great swim by Jay Glenn.
Wesley Ebanks of St. Charles finishes second, so mild upset. Champaign
Okay, Jay came off of that last turn, and you can see his legs. He's getting a push by Wes Ebanks, but the kick that Jay Glenn had left was all that he needed. He's got a nice long stroke. He hasn't changed his stroke all the way through. He stays constant and reaches for the wall.
So Glenn wins it. St. Charles second, Wesley Ebanks. Sensenbrenner from Champaign Central third, and out of lane 6, Peoria Woodruff's Jeff Hall. So when we come back, we'll have the results here, the official results of the 200 freestyle and much more, including the 200-yard individual medley. That's all coming up here from New Trier High School. Back in New Trier High School, let's take a look at the official results coming from the 200-yard freestyle. Second event at the state meet here today. And there's Jay Glenn coming out of Fremd. Well, that water he dumped in the pool must have aided him somewhat. He wins out of lane 3 with a time of 1:39.77. The top qualifier coming into the event, Wesley Ebanks, finishes second. You have Sensenbrenner from Champaign Central, and then out of Woodruff, Jeff Hall finishing 4th.
And Matt Malding from Wabansie Valley moved up from 6th to 5th. He kept pace with the Oak Park swimmers to try to keep their second place trophy hopes alive.
So let's go down for the presentation of the awards for the 200-yard freestyle. And being introduced, there is the man, Jay Glenn, receiving his award down on the first podium. And Lee Kennecke, who is the assistant AD here at New Trier High School, she is handing out the awards. We'll have a different representative after every race to award the medals and chevrons here to the finalists and the state champions.
And there's that very happy Jay Glenn. Nice smile on his face.
So let's go to the third event of the day, the 200-yard IM. And let's take a look at the lane assignments. In lane 2, Mark Cinder out of Champaign Central. And Chris Meyer from Marmion Academy. Tim Carlson, who established a new state record, the only individual to set a state record yesterday. He's in the favorite lane, lane 4 from Naperville North. Justin Nwitty from New Trier. Rock Island will send Brett Lohmeyer in lane 6. And Parker Shade, who is the younger brother of a former state champion out of Decatur MacArthur, he'll be running in lane 7.
And Illinois Swimming lost one of its former state champions about 2 months ago. Seth Dunscombe, who was the state record holder in the individual medley, died of asthma-induced heart problems about 2 months ago while competing in practice. Tim Carlson, who broke his record yesterday, said he was dedicating this meet to him.
And you think the possibility of another state record exists in this race? A lot of experience in this field.
A lot of experience in this field. We've got a lot of swimmers back. Justin Nawada was 3rd last year. Chris Meyer was 6th last year. And, of course, Tim, who set the state record, was 4th last year.
So while Tim's on the platform, what's going through his mind right now?
Well, he's probably now just thinking about what he needs to do in his race. The individual medley is such a difficult race.
And they're off.
You have
to finals of the 200 IM.
You have to take in all 4 of the disciplines, and many of these swimmers are specialists in one stroke or other. A lot of them are breaststrokers in this heat, so they may fall a little bit behind the rest of the field who might be stronger in the butterfly or the backstroke.
Looks like Parker Shade has the lead out of lane 7 from Decatur MacArthur. He has good bloodlines for this race.
And Justin Nawada, a very strong butterflyer and backstroker. So he should get a big lead. Tim Carlson, of course, is the breaststroker, as is Chris Meyer.
And just as you mentioned it, Nawada out of New Trier in lane 5 takes a slight lead as they hit the wall on the far end.
They should come down to the wall with a slight lead, but then we're going to see the breaststrokers start to take over because this is a very tiring, very grueling event, and those that are very good at breaststroke tend to come back in the last part of the race.
So Nawada in lane 5 touches first, kicks off the breaststroke. And just adjacent to him is Tim Carlson, who set the state record yesterday. Don't forget Parker Shea down in lane 7 from MacArthur. He's hanging close.
They're going to be very close at the turn. You can see that their hands are going to hit the wall almost at the same time. In fact, it looked like Tim Carlson might have gotten him right at the wall.
Yeah, he took over the lead in just that short 25 yards. And we'll see if he can stretch out his lead as they go approaching the freestyle in the final down and back.
Chris Meyer's moving up just a little bit, but I think Tim has got a good lead right now. Parker Shade in the bottom has got a little bit of a kick on, beating Brett Lohmeyer from Rock Island.
Shade currently 4th in lane 7, but the leader from Naperville North, Tim Carlson. He will make the final turn about a length and maybe a quarter ahead of the field. Fighting for second, Nawada from New Trier in lane 5, and above him in lane 3, Chris Meyer from Marmion Academy. But it's going to be Tim Carlson taking first in the 200 IM. There he is. He set a state record yesterday. The final time, 151.44. Just 44 hundredths of a second off of the record he made yesterday.
It's not unusual for them not to swim as fast as yesterday. Yesterday, they're all humped up, ready to go. They're coming off. You can see he's coming down the turn. He's far ahead, but he's tired right now. He swam yesterday. He knows he's going to win the race. He just wants to finish it under control. Justin Nawada finishing second, with Chris Meyer pulling in there for 3rd.
So coming up, we will have the official results here from the 200 IM, along with the awards presentation. And next up, the 4th event of the day, the 50-yard freestyle. Don't go get a sandwich now. You'll miss the next race. We're coming back to New Trier with the State Swimming and Diving Championships. 200 IM medley results have been posted. Tim Carlson, fastest qualifier, dedicated this race and goes out as state champion in 1:51 and 44 seconds, only a little under a half second from establishing a new state record. Nawada out of New Trier finishing 2nd. Parker Shade finished 3rd, but we'll see him later on. He'll be the top qualifier in the 100 butterfly.
There's Tim accepting his award. Did a great job. He swam a very solid race all the way through. No weak parts on his IM.
And presenting here, Mark Onsnott, the head boys swimming coach at the Aquatic Center here at New Trier. So on we go to the 50-yard freestyle. And we talked about this. Here are the lineups. You have Pat Kennedy, Loyola Academy's only remaining entrant. He'll be in lane 2. Eric Van Gotham out of Libertyville in lane 3. All of these swimmers you need to keep a watch on. Freshman Andrew Schnell from Marmion Academy in lane 4, fastest qualifier coming in. Andy Wanaski from Conant. Palatine sends Ryan Sorensen in lane 6, and from Champaign Central, it'll be John Townsend. Well, this is a great field, from youth to swimmers with experience. The leading qualifier in lane 4, Andrew Schnell, in 21.23 yesterday. And then you have the only returner to this race in lane 3 from Libertyville. It's Eric Van Gotham, one of the men we profiled earlier.
All right, this is going to be an exciting race. It's relatively a new field. Ryan Sorensen was here last year in the consolations, but otherwise you have 5 swimmers that have not been in the championship finals before. Look for Eric Van Gotham to challenge Andrew. He's a freshman, but then down in lane 5, Andy Winoski got off to a great start yesterday, and this race is a start and a turn.
Mr. Starter, take your mark.
A clean start in the 53.
And it looked like Andy hit it again. He got off. He looked like he hit the water first. He's in lane number 5. The first one into the turn is usually going to be the winner. And it's real close between 5 and 6. Ryan Sorensen is right with them in 6.
Andy Winoski right next to him. And here comes Schnell with a late push.
Ryan Sorensen in 6.
And it's going to be Brian Sorensen with the huge upset from Palatine. 21:19, fastest time of the meet in the 50.
Now Ryan did a great job. He got in and out of that turn. Excellent.
Well, you're right. Winoski had a great start.
As you see him coming down the finish, Ryan Sorensen got off the turn very well, and he kept moving up on him. Winoski was right there, but he could not hold on.
Oh, look how tight this finish is.
Tight finish. It's a finish. It's a start and a turn.
And another angle, he just did nudge out Schnell, the freshman.
The stretch is there, the longest arm.
And there's a computerized touchpad down there. That's how Ryan Sorensen earns the 53 gold medal here at the swimming and diving meets. When we come back, we'll have the official results, all the times, and the awards presentation. And the diving finals are coming up. More from New Trier High School, 1997 swimming and diving state finals. Where do you go for the latest on your favorite local teams? Check out the Sports Channel report every night at 10 or after the game for the best coverage of Chicago's sports scene anywhere. Well, Tim, let's go down to the medal platform for the award ceremony here for the 53. Ryan Sorensen in a terrific time of 21:19. He is your state champion, and he is climbing atop platform number 1.
Well, you can see why we use automatic timing systems. 1/100th of a second between Ryan and Andrew. The young and the old, the freshman and the senior.
Well, you see by how much he bettered his time. Sorensen came in 21:54, so that's a quarter second knocked off, at least. Actually, it's about 3/500ths of a second. And then you have Schnell dropping only by 1/100th. So let's go now to the standings here so far at the state meet. And through the first 4 events, we have Champaign Central in the lead with 45. Oak Park River Forest in second, St. Charles third, Wabansie Valley is fourth. So that's a look at the top 4. 3 of the 4 we projected. Champaign Central, we knew they had a lot of qualifiers and they would accumulate some points, but we still look for St. Charles. They have a lot of point-making opportunities later on in the meet.
And the meet's not over till the last relay, so you still have a lot going on. So we'll see how the points shape up after the next couple of races.
So coming up, we'll have the finals in diving here. A little break from all the pool aquatics. The diving's coming up next from New Trier. Back at New Trier High School here in Winnetka, and we are prepared for the diving competition. Coming in today, Jeff Adams is the preliminary leader from Homewood Flossmoor.
Jeff, after his 8 dives, has the lead. He's got about a 10-point lead on the rest of the field. It's going to be an exciting final. Each diver is going to complete 3 more dives. 1 of those is a voluntary dive, and then 2 of their choosing, the optionals. The top 5 divers are all within about 10 or 12 points, so anything can happen. So it'll be an interesting final round of diving. There'll be 7 judges. The 2 highest scoring judges and the 2 lowest scoring judges will be thrown out, and then they'll multiply the final 3 by the degree of difficulty. Our first diver will be Greg Helen from Libertyville High School. He's doing a forward dive, 1/2 twist in the straight position, degree of difficulty 1.8.
Correction, forward dive, 1/2 twist.
Very nice dive. See what the judges award them. The awards are 5.5s and 6s. Very good score.
6 1/2, 6
One of the keys for Greg is to get off the board solid, make his set, looking down his right arm, and then the close. Very nice finish. Okay, Charlie Rock, a back 1 1/2 somersault with 1/2 twist in the free position, 1.8. Charlie will start this dive with his back to the water. He'll take it straight up, perform 1 1/2 somersaults, and end up facing away from the dive board. Charlie is using that as one of his optional dives, or his voluntary dives. Got a very good score on that one. As he takes it up, he seems to drop his head back a little early, so his legs don't quite get up high enough at the finish. They're very close to the board, so his score was a little low. Giovanni Rizzo, a forward dive, 1/2 twist in the straight position, degree of difficulty, 1.8. He seemed to get out a little over that one at the beginning, got out in front of it. As he's walking down the board, he seems to be leaning just a little bit forward on the takeoff, so he's going to be carried out away from the board a little bit, and that forces him over. You can see his legs splashing out. Okay, Jeremy Hoders, he's a 6th place finisher from last year. He's doing a reverse dive in straight position, degree of difficulty 1.8. Dive. You can see the fans loved it. The judges thought it was a very good dive too. 6.5, 5.5. As he takes off, you can see he's got a nice steady position, arms straight up. He's watching back for the water, and he closes over the top of his head. Nice clean entry. Jeff Adams, he's our leader. He's doing a forward dive in the pike position, degree of difficulty 1.8. Very good dive. He tends to get this very high. He's our leader, and he came up with some very good scores. He gets a very nice takeoff. Head down a little bit, so he's going to be a little bit over on the entry, but he does a nice save getting it in. Okay, Matt Zaremba. Matt is doing a back 1 1/2 somersault in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty 2.2. Most of the divers are starting off with their voluntary dive. Matt's starting out with one of his optionals, one of the more difficult dives. Very nice. Looked like he took it up very well. Got a very nice rotation. There he goes. Nice reach, little back, good tuck. Came out very well. Didn't quite get his hands together, but was able to finish. Okay, Greg Guarantino. He's doing a back 1 somersault with 1 1/2 twist in the free position. Anytime you land on your feet, it's very difficult to stop the dive. This is a 2.3 difficulty dive. You need to take it up with his rotation, keep his shoulders back. Okay, very nice. He was able to hold it in place and drop it straight down in the water. Judges' awards, 5, 5.5, and 6s. He got his head back a little bit, but was able to finish it very well. Adam Hanhart doing a back 1 1/2 somersault with 1/2 twist free. Okay, very nice. A little early on his save, it looked like, from up here. He got it in the water very nicely. The judges liked it with 5.5s.
He started to take it back a little early with his head. So he ends up being just a little bit low, so his feet are down, so he has to really do a tight pike save. Okay, Gary Ramirez, a forward dive, 1/2 twist in the pike position. He must go up and do the pike first and then the twist. Difficult dive. It's a difficult dive because you don't always make it all the way around on the twist. He gets up very high. Some of the judges didn't think he made the twist. You can see a 6.5 and a 3.5. Let's see what the judges saw as he finishes his pike. And he appears to be facing the judges. Didn't quite make it around. David Lyker doing a reverse dive straight, 1.8. David, nice smooth dive. David is a sophomore, so he's only in his second year of high school. He tended to lead the board a little early. Didn't wait for it, so he's going to be traveling out away from the board a little bit. Nice set though. Okay, our next diver is Matt Vondra doing a back 1 1/2 somersault, 1/2 twist in the free position, 1.8. Very nice dive. Judges, fives across the board. Matt gets it up, keeps his head in line nicely. He's a little bit low though, but he gets it in without any problem. Chris Kensinger, forward dive, 1/2 twist straight, 1.8. Chris was having little problems in practice getting this one all the way around. Looked like he was coming in a little short of the twist. Looks like he got it in from our position. Judges awards 5.5, 6s. Very good scores. Got a nice set. Arms a little behind him, but he was able to swing it around and get his twist in. The 10th round of diving, Helen, a back 1 somersault, 1 1/2 twist free, 2.3. The total points, the lead diver has 323 points. So you have an idea of where Greg stands. Very nice dive. Five and a half, 6s, very nice scores. Very nice takeoff. Gets his arms up a little behind him, cuts off the twist, but he does get his legs up. Ends up moving the water pretty vertical. Charlie Rock, back 1 1/2 somersault tuck, 2.2. Nice dive. He pulled his legs in very fast. Looked like he was going to go over just a little bit. Saved himself. Judges' awards were in the 6s. Very nice. On his takeoff, he's got to reach straight up over the top. Bring his legs up, hold the tuck, and then point the toes for the entry. Very nice. Judges see the toes last. Giovanni Rizzo, forward, 1 1/2 somersault, 1 twist, free. Hold it in. Awards, 4 1/2s and 5s. Seems to be back on his takeoff a little bit. Head is down a little on the takeoff, so he's going to be a little slow. His legs did spin around without any problem. Jeremy Hoders, a reverse 1 1/2 in the pike position, 2.5. Little little short, it looked like. Scores 4 3.5s. When he takes off, he seems to be having his belly go out a little bit, so he didn't quite get the elevation he needed, so his legs sort of hung down. Jeff Adams, a forward 2 1/2 somersault in the pike position. He needs to get into a very tight pike in order to make it all the way around. Jeff did a nice job. He got all the way through that, held onto the pike, spun very quickly. The judges liked it. 6.5, 7.5s. Jeff is building a lead. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to catch him. Matt Zaremba, a forward dive 1/2 twist in the straight position, 1.8. You can see he got the pike in very tight this time. He was way above the board when he finished. The legs flipped over a little bit, but not enough to hurt him. Okay, it looked like he was a little short on the twist. Looked like he didn't quite make it all the way around. 5.5s, 5s, judges liked it. Very nice takeoff right near the end of the board. He watches his right arm down, brings his left arm over the top. Looks like a very nice finish. Greg Guarantino, back 1.5 somersault with 1 1/2 twists. Very difficult dive, 2.5. Going backwards, 1.5 somersaults, 1.5 twists. Okay, very nice. He lost his legs a little bit. You can see his ankles crossing. See what the judges thought. 5s, 4.5. As he takes off, he's a little bit low, so he's going to have to spin very fast, get the rotation going. He wraps the arms in, but he's lost his legs. You can see him spinning around as he goes for the water. The judges see that at the end. Adam Hanhart, back 1 1/2 somersault, 1.5 twist, same dive. Let's see how Adam compares. Okay, looked a little bit better as far as keeping his legs together, but he looked low, so let's see if the judges take off for that. 4.5s and 4s. He seemed to be getting a little further away from the board. When Adam takes off, he goes straight backwards, so he's going to be very low. Doesn't have a lot of time to get his legs up behind him. You can see they're very close to the water. Okay, Gary Ramirez, a reverse 1 1/2 somersault tuck position, 2.3. Looked very nice from behind. Looked like he got it in the water very clean. Dude, the judges didn't like it. 4.5s, 3.5. Judges didn't like that one. Let's see what he did. As he takes off, seems to be in a very nice tuck position. Let's go. Oh, he turned, twisted to the side. Judges could see that. Okay, David Lyker, big back 1 1/2 somersault pike, 2.4. David looked like he whipped that one right up off the board. Judges gave him 4s. As he starts, it doesn't look like he gets up in the air at all, just whips it straight back. So he's very low. He does get his arms up, but he crashes into the water. Matt Vondra, reverse 1 1/2 somersault in the tuck position, 2.3. Matt needs to get this up into the air. A little bit of a save above water. See if the judges caught it. 4.5s and 5s. One judge might have.
5, 3 1/2, 5, 4 1/2, 5 1/2.
He gets up in the air very well. He rotates very well. He seems to be going over just a little bit, and he tucks his legs down just above the water. Kensinger, forward, 1 1/2 somersault, 1 twist free, 2.2. Chris was having a little problems with that in warm-up. He was able to get the somersault in, but couldn't quite finish the twist. As you can see, as he starts his dive, he starts his somersault okay, but he's a little low, so his twisting is going to be slow. Now he's got to try to come out of it, and his feet aren't behind him. Okay, starting our final round of diving, Helen, a forward 2 1/2 somersault tuck, 2.4. Okay, Greg was a little low on that. Didn't get a lot of takeoff, but he did make the dive. 4. Interesting scores, 4 and 2.5 and 3.5. As you can see, he doesn't get a lot of takeoff, so he's real low. Doesn't have a lot of time to finish his rotation. He does get it in the water, but he's barely making it. Charlie Rock, a forward 1 1/2 somersault with 2 twists, 2.6. Difficult dive, high DD. You get paid for it when you do it well, and the judges sometimes penalize you when you don't. He got 4s and 3s on that. He seems to be taking off away from the board. His rotation is going away. He's looking over his shoulder for the water, very low, and his feet kick over the top. Giovanni Rizzo, a reverse 1 1/2 somersault, 1 1/2 twist free, 2.6. Giovanni needs to get to the end of the board. Scores 4s, 5s, and 3s. Sort of a mixed bag. As he got to the end of the board, he looked like he was a little far away, so in order to save himself, it looked like he threw it out with his hips, got it away from the board and to the side. Jeremy Hoders doing a reverse 1 somersault, 1 1/2 twists free. An easier dive, but still putting it onto his feet. The judges' awards, 5s, 4.5. Didn't look like he got as much height as he could have used. He had a pretty good takeoff here, but it seemed like he just eased it through. Nice, easy dive for him. Jeff Adams, a forward 1 1/2 somersault with 2 twists, 2.6. Coming into this round. A difficult dive, but again, the scores for the judges, 5s, 5s, 4.5. Very good scores. Looked like he was a little bit out of control, but the judges liked it. Nice takeoff, good somersaulting. Looking over his shoulders, he lost his legs completely, and they washed over. Judges liked it, though. Matt Zaremba, a forward 1 somersault with 2 twists, free, 2.3. Again, difficult dives, standing dives to the feet, very difficult to stop. 4.5 scores by the judges, pretty consistent. Matt takes it up pretty well, gets a very good rotation, but again, very difficult to stop from falling over onto his chest. Okay, Guarantino, a forward dive, 1/2 twist straight, 1.8. He saved his voluntary dive for last. Seemed to over-rotate just as he was about to hit the water. 5s and 5.5, 4.5s. It looked like he had a nice setup here at the top. But when he brought his hands together, it looked like he just over-rotated, and we saw it a little bit in slow motion. Adam Hanhart, inward, 1 1/2 somersault tuck, 2.2. He's asking it to be repeated. I hope I read it right. It says inward, 1 1/2 somersault tuck, 2.2.
Adam Hanhart, dive 403. Inward, 1 1/2 somersault, tuck, 2.2.
One of us was right. Adam needs to stay with the board. If he gets a good takeoff, this will be a good dive for him. Very nice dive. Very nice rotation. 5 1/2 and a 6. Very nice dive.
5 1/2, 5 1/2, 6, 5.
Gary Ramirez, a forward 1 1/2 somersault with only 1 twist, free, 2.2.
1 twist, free, 2.2.
Short going in, judges 6, 5, 7, 5, 4 1/2. A wide range of judges' scores on that one. As he takes off, his head is down, he's looking down, his rotation is down, his feet are a little bit low, but he seems to have gotten it in okay. David Lyker, a forward 1 1/2 somersault with 2 twists free, 2.6. Probably David's most difficult dive. Let's see what the judges score on that. Judges scored him. From up here, it looked like he may have failed the dive. We'll have the opportunity to watch it sort of in slow motion as he comes off the board. If his feet hit before his hands, it's a failed dive. No, his hands did hit. An excellent call by Greg Carlson, our official. Matt Vondra, forward, 2 somersaults pike. Got up very well, did a very nice dive. 5 1/2, 5, 5 1/2. Very good scores for Matt. Nice steady takeoff, good height. Head is down a little bit, but he has a great pike, comes out of it, and he's very straight going in. Chris Kensinger, a forward 2 1/2 somersault tuck, 2.4. Chris did a nice job. He was a little back on the board, but he made it through without any problem. Judges scored 5, 5 1/2. Very good scores. Final dive, gets around. You can see the rotation is very smooth, little short going in. And that concludes our diving, and we will be back with the results, the diving awards, and the 100-yard butterfly coming up.
And the awards presentation handed down by the swimming coach of Brother Rice, William Murphy. And now we will see the winners of the diving competition. Jeff Adams wins the diving by about 36 points full over Jeremy Hoders.
Jeff did a great job. It is nice to see Jeremy Hoders, Matt Vondra, and Gary Ramirez, all from the Central Suburban League, pulling in their 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Very nice job.
Charlie Rock finishes 5th, and Greg Guarantino will finish 6th.
Second place, Jeremy Hoders. He was a finalist last year. He's come back this year for 2nd place. He had a great final 3 dives.
And here comes your state champion, 1997 diving champ. It's Jeff Adams.
Jeff did a great job. He was solid all the way through. He had a couple little mistakes early on in the early rounds, but he stayed solid enough to win by a very large margin. Did a great job today.
So now let's take a look at the updated team standings. Taking a look at the updated team standings through 5 events, Champaign Central still in the lead, 45 points. They are still alive in the last 2 relays of the day. They're going to need a strong out to maintain that first place lead. Oak Park River Forest in second, just 3 points behind. Then it's HF, Homewood Flossmoor 41. St. Charles, 4th place, but still poised to make a run. They're at 39, while Bonzi Valley in 5th, and then Hinsdale Central in 6th place at 32 points.
It's a very close meet right now, but we'll see how it goes in the next couple races.
Coming up, we have the 100-yard butterfly. Let's set the lane assignments for this event. In lane 2, it'll be Matt Garrison from East Peoria. From Oak Park River Forest, Tim Berry. Parker Shade from Decatur MacArthur. Conant will handle lane 5, Todd Laird. Will Sensenbrenner from Champaign Central. And John Dennis of Hinsdale Central in lane 7. Tim, this should just be a fantastic race. You have Parker Shade, who is the top qualifier, a great time, 50.13. His brother set the state record a couple of years ago from MacArthur, but also some great competition.
Right, Parker's going after Tucker's record of 49.54, but you got to remember, Matt Garrison up in lane number 2, he was second in this event last year, and Todd Laird in lane number 5, he was third. Both of those bring in a lot of experience, but the dark horse has got to be in lane number 3, Tim Berry. Last year he didn't swim this event. He went the 200 freestyle, and he finished 3rd. So we'll see if he's got enough strength to come here and take the 100 butterfly.
And we will also see Tim Berry in lane 3 as the top qualifier in the 500 a little bit later on.
Take your mark.
And they're off without a hitch in the 100-yard butterfly.
In this race, you really are looking for timing between the arm stroke and the kick, and it's hitting the wall at a full stroke. If you hit it at a jam stroke, you tend to lose an awful lot of time.
And it's Todd Laird in lane 5 with a smidgen of a lead. He's off to a good start, but it's tight all the way across the pool.
John Dennis down in lane 6 from Hinsdale Central. He came into the wall just a little bit ahead of everybody else.
And Matt Garrison making a run in lane 2 from East Peoria. He's next football player, but it looks like John Dennis is in the lead down in lane 7 from Hinsdale Central.
Whenever you get to these championship heats, all 6 swimmers have an equal chance of winning. They turn together. John Dennis came up slightly ahead of the field, but Parker Shade is coming.
Parker Shade has the lead as they stretch for the pad.
And it is Parker.
Parker wins at 50.13, matching his preliminary time, which was best in the meet set yesterday.
Parker came back for that last leg very, very strong. He got his legs into it and got a good stretch. As you can see now, as he's going to go into the wall, you can see Dennis touches first and gets out. Parker comes off with a very strong kick, and he pops up, doesn't take a breath. He's breathing every stroke initially, and now he's coming in. He's got a nice, strong pull all the way through. Good rhythm, and he finishes with a nice glide. Great finish.
So Parker Shade, your champion in the 100-yard butterfly, will come right back with the awards ceremony, and also up next, the 100-yard freestyle. Should be an exciting event. Stay tuned. This is the boys swimming and diving state championships from New Trier High School. Parker Shade cut through that water right there on his way to a state championship in the 100 butterfly. There you see the final results at 50.13. That equaled his preliminary time, which was best in the meet yesterday. Besting John Dennis, who finished 2nd. Matt Garrison of East Peoria finishing 3rd. Tim Berry out of Oak Park 4th. Will Sensenbrenner in 5th, and then Todd Laird out of Conant finished 6th.
You could throw a blanket over the first 4. They were that close together.
So there you see this.
John Dennis getting up there, getting his award.
We are awaiting the award of the championship medal. And that applause and a great crowd here, about 2,000 fans on hand here at New Trier. And here comes your champion, Parker Shade of Decatur MacArthur. He didn't quite get his brother's mark, almost had the sub 50, but a great time.
Had a great race, great swim. He didn't swim last year, so he came back this year to go after the record. We've already seen him in another race earlier.
You see Denise Caniglio, who's the girls swimming coach at Conant High School, handing out the medal, and there's a nice wave to great fans on hand here today. So now we will set up the 100 freestyle. Lane assignments, starting off in lane 2 to be Bill Koplis out of Stevenson. Peoria Woodward, Jeff Hall making another appearance. He will be in lane 3. Greg Bussie, who is right now the class of this field from Waubonsie Valley, he'll be shooting after a state record here. Andrew Schnell, the freshman from Marmion Academy in lane 5. Gavin Anderson from St. Charles big backing of St. Charles Saints contingents in the seats above us. He'll be in lane 6, and John Thompson out of Champaign Central in lane 7. A very unselfish Greg Bussie in lane 4 gave up an individual event to try and help his team, and here he is, the only individual event he's in. 100 freestyle, he's the big favorite.
Greg was 3rd in this event last year. He had a 2-second lead on the field after the prelims. He's only about 0.4 of a second away from the state record. This could be a great race for Greg Bussie.
Yeah, and already through the first 25 yards, he's established about a half a body length lead. Andrew Snell, the freshman from Marmion, is trying to stay close.
Well, one of Greg's strengths are his turns. He gets very fast in and out of the turns. But again, Andrew Snell is staying right with them. Andrew is chasing him down.
Gavin Anderson from St. Charles in lane 6. They need his points. He's crept up to 3rd. But it's Bussie. Bussie's final turn home.
He's opened up that lead on that 3rd turn. He's opened up almost a body length lead. 44-47 is the record. It doesn't look like he's going to make it, but it's going to be close.
44.55. Missed the record by 8/100ths of a second. His split time at the midway point was 21.4. Couldn't quite continue that pace the last 50 yards, but nevertheless a dominating win here for Greg Bussie of Waubonsie Valley.
As you can see, as he comes into his last turn, he's really turning hard. He gets his legs over the top. The first thing you see are those legs kicking. He gets out on top of the water. He's got a body length lead in the field. He's not breathing much. He's fighting for the wall. He doesn't know what his time is, but he knows he's going fast, very smooth, nice finish. 44.55. I don't know if you could be much closer. 8/100ths of a second. What a race.
We will run down the official results from this race. Greg Bussie, your winner in the 100-yard freestyle. Coming up next, the results, the awards, and the 500 freestyle. That's all next from New Trier. Back at New Trier High School, where Tim Bussie just prevailed in an easy victory in the 100 free.
Greg Bussie.
Greg Bussie.
We don't want anybody getting mad at us.
Sorry. Let's take a look at the results and get me off the hook. There's Greg Bussie. 44.55 the winning time. Andrew Schnell, he's having a terrific meet.
Andrew did a great job. 45.79. He improved on his time from yesterday by over a second. Freshman doing a great job. He's a big, strong kid. He did a great job.
Jeff Hall finishing 3rd. And in 4th place, John Thompson, who had to win a swim-off last night after preliminaries to even get into this race, and he improves his position. He finished 4th.
Right, did a great job.
There you see Greg Bussie, big smile on his face. So coming up now, we have one of the premier individual events, the 500-yard freestyle. And we have one competitor here, Tim Berry, who just raced about a half hour ago. So we'll see what kind of stamina he has left. Here's a look at the lineup. Tim Sheely, a Conant in lane 2. E-Banks, we saw him earlier from St. Charles. There's Tim Berry in the fast lane, lane 4. Matt Malding again. He's a veteran of this afternoon from Waubonsie Valley. Brian Gargas of Thornwood. And Palatine's Tim Griffin in lane 7. And they're on the block here for the 500 freestyle.
Tim Berry in lane number 4 is our favorite. Ready to go.
And off they go, Tim Berry. Preliminary time was about 4 full seconds better than the entire field.
Yeah, the 500-yard freestyle is really the only distance style race that we have in high school swimming. It's really not a distance race. All of the swimmers in this are very accomplished at the 200 sprint races, so this ought to be a very nice race. They all know how to pace themselves. Tim Berry, who did have a nice easy swim yesterday, there was nobody else around him during the 500. He got to coast in the last 150 yards. We'll see what kind of a pace he sets for himself. He needs to go somewhere in the 55-second range for the first 100 just to feel comfortable, though.
And as we try and integrate this into the team standings, you have Oak Park seeded 1 in this race, Waubonsie Valley 2, and then 3rd would be St. Charles. All 3 teams still with a viable shot, but really you can't afford to give back any points.
Right, the points are very important right here. All of the swimmers are out very fast. I don't think any one of them is just going to lay down. We're only a second and a half between all 5 of them at that point. So as they come into the 6th turn, we'll see how close they are.
Tim Berry up by a full body length. Lane 3, Wesley Ebanks, who is psyching himself up. He's fallen back to 3rd. Tim Sheely of Conant all the way up top of your screen in lane 2. He's now in 2nd place. But St. Charles is looking for at least a 2nd place finish. And speaking of, the team competition will show you how this affects what will happen. We only have about 4 more events after this one.
About 4 more events.
And there you see Champaign Central, not with a competitor in this race, however. They still maintain a 12-point lead over St. Charles, but then you see how tight it is, 2nd through 5th. St. Charles 54, Waubonsie and Oak Park tied at 53, and Hinsdale Central. So now you see the importance of what 1-point gain or a 1-point give back can be in this 500-yard race.
And as we come back to the race, you see Tim Berry has opened up about a 2-body length lead. Coming at the halfway mark, he's swimming a pace of about 55 seconds per 100. Well, that would be a state record, but I don't know if he's going to hold on to it. But if he can just stay in the 52, 50, or 56, 57 range, he'll walk away with this race.
Yeah, halfway through, he is just above state record pace that was set in 1989 by Brian Gunn of Hinsdale Central. That's 4 minutes, 25 seconds, and 54 hundredths.
I don't expect him to hold on for the state record because you got to go a little bit faster. But he's looking around. Now, there's going to be a little strategy involved in this because Tim is going to come back in the next last relay for Oak Park, and they may need his strength to try to win that state championship.
That's a very good point. You see in lane 2, this is big for Wesley Ebanks. He needs to maintain his position, but still Tim Sheely almost alongside him in lane 2. Then there's a mild separation to Matt Malding of Waubonsie, and they're in danger of dropping a point in this event.
This is going to be an interesting race. The counters at the other end are letting the swimmers know how many laps they have completed. They've completed 14. They have 6 lengths to go. Most of us wouldn't want to swim 4 legs in the pool, much less 20.
Not all of us can. So there you see Tim Berry.
You can see his counters flashing that sign at the other end to let him know he's at 15.
Another 125 yards to go for Tim Berry, and he is head and shoulders ahead of the field by about 3.5 lengths.
He's starting to let his legs drag a little bit. He might be getting a little bit tired or might be saving them. Typically, when he comes off the turns, he gives us a couple of good, strong leg kicks, and then he lets them float a little bit.
Well, as you hear in our background, the St. Charles Saints fans trying to prod on Ebanks, still maintaining 2nd place in lane 3. And now he finally is separated a bit from Tim Sheely, who's beginning to fade up in lane 2.
And this is the gun lap, so we're going to head of gun with 2 lengths and 5 yards to go. So Tim knows he only has 50 yards more to go.
Now let's look at the race now for 2nd place. Wesley Ebanks will turn and push himself down the pool the one last time. And in lane 5, Matt Malding of Waubonsie Valley.
You have up in the top, Tim Sheely is holding on to 4th with Tim Griffith in 5th and Brian Gargas in 6th.
So it looks right now like the only shift we'll have in terms of the points expected and the points received in this race will be a shift of a point from Waubonsie Valley up to St. Charles.
And a nice smooth finish, 4:34. He improved on his time from last night without having to work very hard. Wesley Ebanks, 4:37. What a great swim.
So he knocked almost a full 2 seconds off yesterday's time. There you see it. Tim Berry, junior from Oak Park River Forest, your state 500-yard champion. Congratulations to him. And when we come back, we'll have all the results in the 500-yard freestyle and preview the 200-yard freestyle relay. The relays mean big points, big business is coming up here from New Trier. Tim Berry, your 500 freestyle champion. There's his time, 4:34.02, about 3 3/4 seconds better than Wesley Ebanks, but he did get some points for St. Charles.
And so did Matt Malding for Waubonsie Valley. So it was a good event for all 3 of the top contending teams.
And here is Tim Berry to receive his championship medal. He stops off to talk with one of his colleagues. And now, in an interesting little twist, he'll receive his championship medal from his assistant executive director, the AD at Oak Park River Forest, Sandy Avenanti. So it's nice to get some hardware in front of your own school folk. So coming up next, we will have the 200 free relay championship. Waubonsie Valley, St. Charles, Oak Park, they are all represented along with Champaign Central. And here is the breakout of the lane assignments. Oak Park River Forest in lane 2. Champaign Central, which has dropped now to second place, still only 2 points back. They're in lane 3. Waubonsie Valley set a state record yesterday. They're in lane 4. St. Charles in 5. Conant in 6. And Fremd Academy in lane 7. They're on the blocks for the 200 free relay. It'll get quiet as the dark side of the moon here.
Starter. Take your mark.
And now it erupts into a geyser of emotion here. Big race here. All the 4 top contenders are involved. Lane 2, Oak Forest, that's Jamie Daggett. Lane 3 is Mark Cinder from Champaign Central. They need a big race here. Waubonsie Valley, which established a new state record yesterday, Greg Bussie in lane 4. St. Charles has Gavin Anderson 5. Annie Wadnaski of Conant in 6, and Mike Patla in lane 7.
Up in lane number 2, Henry Kravinsky is in for Oak Park. In lane 3, we have Evan Parker-Steven. In 4 for Waubonsie Valley is Tim Smizer. Lane 5 for St. Charles is Matt Munns. Lane 6 for Conant, we have Tim Shealy. And in lane number 7, Steve Johnson.
Tim Smizer will send Greg Jackson into the pool. Waubonsie Valley in the lead. The 3rd leg of the 200 free relay. Matt Daggett for Oak Park. The 3rd leg in lane 2. John Townsend, Champaign Central in 3. Then you have Shane Whitland of St. Charles. Conant will send Paul Jackala, and then it's Jason Fleck in lane 7 for Fremd.
And the final swimmers in the water for Oak Park, we have Adam Gazaskas. From Champaign Central, it's Will Sensenbrenner. Lane 4, Waubonsie Valley is Brian Rosen. Lane 5 is Wesley Eubanks. Lane 6 for Conant is Todd Laird, and in lane 7 is Clint McHugh.
Here comes Brian Roskins to the wire first, in a time of 1:24 flat.
And it's a new state record.
Another state record established by Waubonsie Valley for the 2nd straight event. They set one last night in the preliminaries, and they redouble their efforts here. 1:24 flat, Waubonsie Valley wins it. 2nd place, Champaign Central. And here's the relay, the last exchange.
And Brian Roskin has got such a huge lead that nobody's going to catch him. It's just a matter of whether they're going to break the state record or not. Will Sensenbrenner on the top is trying to chase him down, as is Wes Eubanks in lane number 5. Brian has got a nice lead. He's coming up underneath the flags. You can see the wall. He knows exactly where he's at. And a great finish.
And Waubonsie Valley certainly needed this victory. They were the favored team in terms of preliminary time last night, and they claim the state championship in the 200 free relay. Waubonsie Valley stays in contention. Coming up next, we'll have the 100-yard backstroke and much more coming up from New Trier High School. It's the 1997 boys swimming and diving state finals. Broadcast rights for this event have been granted to Sports Channel by the Illinois High School Association. Any reproduction or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Sports Channel and the IHSA is prohibited. Well, let's take a look at the results from the 200-yard freestyle relay that buoys Waubonsie Valley into 1st place in the team standings. First of all, here are the results. 1:24, another new state record, 2nd day in a row.
Waubonsie Valley had a great relay. They led off again with Greg Bussie. He had a great race, great split. He brought his team all the way through. They're moving up in the standings. In fact, at this point, in a minute we'll find out what the standings are, but they are moving up considerably. All 4 of the teams that are in the top 4 are vying for the team trophies.
Yeah, Champaign Central finishing 2nd, and again, we're ready to discount the team from downstate, but they're hanging very close. A strong showing in 2nd place. St. Charles lost a couple of points by falling to the 3rd place hole there. Oak Park River Forest gained a couple. They moved up a couple of slots into 4th, Conant in 5th, and Fremd in 6th. And here come the runner-ups and the second place awards. So you talk about the strong showing here by Waubonsie Valley. They'll be coming out next for their state championship awards. And they've really closed things up. St. Charles really had a lot of people in position to accumulate some big points, and things have not gone their way all day.
Yeah, Champaign Central really snuck in there in 2nd place. They surprised a few people, dropped their time, improved a lot.
And here comes Waubonsie Valley in a time of 1:24 even, another state record.
The relay team of Greg Bussie, Tim Smizer, Greg Jackson, and Brian Roskins. state champions and new state record holders in the 200 freestyle relay.
And good sportsmanship. They're making their way down to the first podium. They'll receive their medals from Mary Struckhoff, who's the Assistant Executive Director of the IHSA. And so here they come. They're climbing atop the first platform. So things have very much tightened up here. And here's Waubonsie Valley, 1-point leader in the standings, and we'll flash to those in just a moment. Boy, proud quartet right there in lane 1.
All smiles.
And now let's show you the up-to-date standings through 9 events. And Waubonsie Valley, look at this, they've stuck into the lead by a point. St. Charles second at 96. Then Champaign Central also tied for second. Oak Park River Force, they're all still in contention, the top 4 teams. Then a drop off to Hinsdale Central in 5th, Conant in 6th. But let's kind of establish here the situation. All these 4 major teams are involved in the last relay.
Right, Champaign Central does have a swimmer in the consolation heat of the backstroke, where St. Charles has one in the championship heat of the backstroke. In the breaststroke, in the main heat, you got St. Charles and Oak Park both have swimmers in the top heat.
So now let's go to the 100-yard backstroke. Here is your lane assignments. Jay Glenn in lane 2 from Frem. Justin Nawada out of New Trier, he'll be in 3. Stephen Seiler from Westmont in 4. John Dennis in 5. Kelly in 6. And Matt Munns of St. Charles in 7.
Okay, we have Jay Glenn at lane number 2. Wants to be the state champion, the first one to break 50 seconds. He laid back in the prelims. He's got a great opportunity outside lane. Swimming in lane 4, we have Steve Seiler. He's been the favorite all year. Fastest time coming in. And lane 7 is Matt Munns, St. Charles. Very important team points.
Well, if you see Munns set up for that race, had his face in the platform, the St. Charles fans are saying, let's go Munnsy. They know they need a big race out of the 6th qualifier in this race.
Lane number 3, Justin Nawada from New Trier. This is his home pool. He knows the pool very well. He swims in this every day.
That's a pretty even first 50 yards, isn't it?
Jay Glenn seems to have a slight lead as he goes into the first turn.
He's the first one to touch the pad, but also lane 4. Here comes Stephen Seiler of Westmont. Those 2 in the lead. Then John Dennis of Hinsdale Central. He's in 3rd. Justin Nawada in lane 3. He's a very close 4th.
Jay has got a slight lead. He had a little stuck on his turn. Seiler might have caught him just on that turn. See how they finish.
The house is going nuts. Jay Glenn in lane 2. It's Seiler in 4. It's going to be Glenn will win it. At a time of 50.08. That's a new state record. Jay Glenn out of Frem.
He gets the state record. Didn't go under 50 seconds, but he got the state record. Yep. Tom Jaeger from 1982. 14-year-old record. Jay really got stuck on this last turn. It looked like he rolled over just a little bit early. I thought Steve Seiler was going to catch him. He had to float in a little bit. He came off the wall okay, came up and was really sprinting. And again, Steve was really moving on him. As you can see, as they get near the backstroke, Jay has got a very slight lead, and it's all going to come down to the touch and how they use their hands. Jay just reached back with the long arms. Great race.
Jay Glenn, your state champion in state record time. We'll have the results coming up, but also the 100-yard breaststroke. That's all next. We're in the final stages of the swimming and diving state championships here at New Trier. Welcome back to New Trier High School here in the north suburb of Winnetka, Illinois. And Tim, it's coming down to the last couple events, and Jay Glenn of Frem just set a brand new state record, broke one that had lasted for 13 years, set back in '84 by Naperville North swimmer Gianni Minernavini.
No, that's the breaststroke record. This was the one was Tom Jaeger from Collinsville back in 1984.
There are the results. Jay Glenn 50.08, Seiler in 2nd, 50.25. It's John Dennis in 3rd at 50.58, and so on. And
there's your 2nd place swimmer. I don't know. Must be a pajama race.
And there is your state champion coming down the walkway here.
Jay finished 1st as a sophomore, 2nd as a junior, and he comes back to win it his senior year. And he does it in a state record time.
50.08 salutes the fans around. And things again tightening up considerably. Coming up next, we'll have the 100-yard breaststroke. 2 events to go, and the team title still very much undecided. And here are your lane assignments for the 100-yard breaststroke. It'll be Tim Carlson from Naperville North. The junior will start in lane 2. Matt Eilenfeld from Naperville North in lane 3. Eric Van Gotham of Libertyville. He's the top qualifier, the senior in lane 4. Adam Gazoukas out of Oak Park River Forest in 5. Dan Knudsen of St. Charles in 6. And Chris Comer from Deerfield in lane 7. There you see Eric Van Gotham in lane 4, the towel draped over his platform, attempting the three-peat, going for his 3rd straight 100-yard breaststroke state championship.
Adam Gazoukas in the nice new swimsuit.
Maybe a new fashion statement. This is an all-important race for Oak Park and St. Charles, lanes 5 and 6. This could be the difference in what happens in the free relay.
A very strong field, though, a lot of performers who performed in the finals last year.
Well, yeah, you have Tim Carlson, who set the state record in the individual medley, is a 6th-place finisher from last year. Matt Eilenfeld was 4th last year.
And Gazoukas has finished 3rd the last 2 years. He has the lead at the midway point in lane 5.
He's got a nice lead for Oak Park. Got a nice turn. Dan Knudsen fell a little bit behind on the turn, but he's pulling up a little bit. Coming into the 3rd turn, it still looks like Gazoukas has the lead, with Van Gotham right behind him.
Neck and neck race. Van Gotham looking for that last bit of resolve to try and win his 3rd straight title, but he trails with about 10 yards to go.
Gazoukas looks like he's going to pull it out.
He will win it. Touching first in 29.63. Van Gotham finishes a very close 2nd.
Well, that's setting up a heck of a final race. Here they come down the field. You don't realize how fast they're going right here. With Matt Eilenfeld at the top of your screen, closing very quickly on Van Gotham and Gazoukas. Coming off that turn, Adam got a great underwater pull, and he popped his head up first, and that was the difference. He was able to stay just in front. I think everybody will be wearing that new suit next year. What do you think?
Very attractive. I wouldn't look too good in it, but
what a great finish.
A great finish, and it sets up a fantastic final race, essentially for the state championship. We'll have the results of this race and set up the final race, the 400-yard free relay. That's all coming up. Don't go anywhere. Here you see the medal ceremony for the 100-yard breaststroke. Here are your results. Adam Gazoukas coming out of Oak Park. He wins it. A pretty good upset. He just beat the 2-time defending state champion, who finished his 2nd. That's Eric Van Gotham from Libertyville. Matt Eilenfeld finishing 3rd.
Adam did a great job. He was the #1 seed coming into the meet. He was 3rd the last 2 years. And I think the team race has got a lot to do with the motivation. Adam is going for a team trophy today. 1st place is what he's looking for. And he's giving his team a big lift.
So there you see him, Adam Gazoukas, finishing in a time of 56.36. It's about 0.8 of a second off of the state record that I alluded to much earlier. So when we will now set the lane assignments for the final event. It's the 400-yard freestyle relay, and this will be for the state championship. In lane 2, it'll be Marmion Academy out of Aurora. St. Charles in lane 3. Aurora's Waubonsie Valley in 4. Oak Park in 5. Champaign Central in 6. Hinsdale Central will occupy the 7-hole. Well, Tim, let's take a look at the up-to-the-date standings. And we're coming up to the final event. St. Charles really has the meet in their own hands. They lead by 8 points over Oak Park River Forest. Champaign Central at 99, they're in 3rd place. Talk about how things can play out here and under what circumstances.
Well, the 1st place in this last event is worth 32 points. If Oak Park were to win the event, they would end up with 139. St. Charles then would need to get 3rd place to tie them or 2nd place to win.
His 3rd place is worth 24 points. 2nd is worth 26. So St. Charles ideally a 1st or 2nd place finish, and they're the team state champions. We at Sports Channel apologize for the technical difficulties we experienced. So we're going to move ahead in the final event. We are nearing the end of the 400 freestyle relay, and down in lane 7, Hinsdale Central's Gunnar Hutchins is in the lead.
Sensenbrenner from Champaign Central is going to be giving them a lead, and he may surprise everybody. Greg Bussie up in lane number 4, the fastest man in the pool, is taking off.
And we apologize for all the technical difficulties at the outset of this race. We are back up and running. We lost power momentarily. And here we're coming to the final leg of the 400-yard freestyle relay. And St. Charles still sitting in lane number 3. They're trying to win a state title right here, but they trail badly in this race.
In lane number 2, you have Andrew Snell from Marmion, Wes Ebanks in 3 from St. Charles, Greg Bussie is in 4, Will Sensenbrenner in 6, and John Dennis from Hinsdale Central in 7.
And here they come to the finish. Waubonsie Valley in lane 4 will win the 400-yard freestyle relay in a time of 3:07.84, missing the state mark by about a second and a half. St. Charles will finish 5th in the race.
Champaign Central with that second place finish, or third place finish, probably moves into a third place trophy hunt just ahead of Hinsdale Central.
So we will sort everything out for you when we come back with the final results from this race and wrap up the team standings. That's all coming up next from New Trier High School, where the state champion St. Charles Saints will take to the victory platform when we return. Keep up with the high school sports scene all year with Sears Schoolyard Jam. This month on the Jam, we'll head down to the original March Madness in Peoria for the state basketball tournament. Also, Brandon hits the hardwood with the Harlem Globetrotters. That's the Sears Schoolyard Jam, only on Sports Channel. Well, let's take a look at the 400-yard freestyle relay results. Waubonsie Valley came in as the top qualifier. They win the race. Hinsdale Central finishes 2nd. Champaign Central in 3rd. Marmion Academy in 4th. And St. Charles, after Oak Park was disqualified, they only needed a finish, and they got that. They are the state champs. The Saints finished 5th in the relay.
Well, Waubonsie Valley had a great meet. Greg Bussie had a great meet. He's down there shaking hands with the fellow competitors. 3 state championships, 2 of them on relays, 1 individual. What a great meet he had for his team.
So the awards handed out by Wes Bauman, the principal of New Trier High School. Very fitting that he hands them out in the final event. And there the fans are reacting to team standings on the digital board, posting St. Charles as your state champions with 135 points. We'll get to that in just a moment. There's a look at Waubonsie Valley, the event champion. But more importantly for these very boisterous Saint fans right next to us, St. Charles has won the swimming and diving state title.
It's been a great meet. It was a close meet all the way through. St. Charles came in. They had the meet to win. They positioned themselves correctly yesterday in the prelims. They swam a very smart meet today. They only scored 135 points, but that's 6 more than their runner-up, and they get the first place trophy.
Yeah, we really thought coming in they did posture well, got many qualifiers into today's finals, but it was much closer than we had anticipated, especially because of one downstate pesky team, Champaign Central, that hung around, and they wound up finishing 3rd.
Champaign just wouldn't go away. They swam way over their heads today. I shouldn't say over their heads, over their seats, not over their heads. They came in, they positioned themselves yesterday, but you know, we don't know too much about them up here on the North Shore, so they did a great job compiling 123 points and finishing in 3rd place.
So we are now awaiting the final presentations of the state championship trophies.
It appears that Mary Struckoff from the IHSA will be presenting the medal and team to the 3 championship teams.
So now let's take a look at the final standings here, Tim. And there you see the St. Charles Saints, your 1997 state champions, 135 points. But I think a lot of people here would have loved to have seen the final combat, if you will, between St. Charles and Oak Park in the final race. Just wasn't meant to be. Waubonsie Valley finishes 2nd, 6 points behind. Champaign Central jumps over Oak Park River Forest. In the final event, they finished 3rd. And there you see Oak Park at 4th. Hinsdale Central finishing 5th, and Marmion Academy, thanks to a couple of very young swimmers. Look for them another year or 2 down the road. They finished a very strong 6th.
Yeah, we shouldn't take anything away from St. Charles. They did win the meet, and they were positioned to win it. They just didn't have to go out of their way in the last event. So they were the champions.
No question. We are just about ready to present the team awards. You might be hearing Bonnie Beach in the background. She's the PA announcer here, and they will just get this underway momentarily.
And we have a look at the 3 trophies.
Well, let's talk about what happens. What is the tradition here for state champions? I see they've taken the lane lines down. I heard something about jumping in the pool with the trophy above head.
Well, traditionally, you want to give that trophy a little dunking. Make sure it doesn't fall apart once you get it in the water.
It's a very sturdy-looking trophy.
Well, it'll stay together. It'll get a little wet, and it may warp a little bit, but that doesn't matter. All the swimmers, the coaches, possibly even the school principal will get thrown in the water if he's here.
And you being the coach down at Glenbrook South, this has happened to you before. Do you also follow your team into the pool?
Oh, you want to be first in.
Or do they drag
you? It's such a lot of fun. No, they don't have to drag you in at all. It's a lot of fun. It's a culmination to a long year of training. The kids have worked hard. Joe Cable from St. Charles has done a great job with his kids. They always come through at the end at the state meet. Whether they win or not, they always have some great meets.
And talk now about the feelings that these young kids have, not just for St. Charles, but we have a couple of very, very strong teams here represented that will also maybe take a dive into the pool.
Well, only the winner goes in.
Okay.
That's just custom. It's not to say the rest don't want to, because they've had some great meets.
Provides a little incentive to go there next year.
Great swims. I mean, Jay Glenn out of Fremd High School, double state champion, sets a state record in the backstroke, comes back after last year of not winning an event, really does a great job. Greg Bussie from Waubonsie Valley comes in, sets a great time in the 100-yard freestyle, helps his team to the second place trophy by giving up a second individual event by swimming on 3 relays. You go up and down the list. Naperville North, Tim Carlson does a great job by setting a state record in the 200 IM. And Adam Gazaskis comes up really big in the breaststroke, winning the breaststroke for Oak Park in the very end to give him a chance at winning the trophy.
So now let's send it down to the PA announcer, Bonnie Beach, and she will be introducing the championship teams, the runner-ups, the third place team. That's all coming up. Let's send it down to Bonnie.
And now meet the Maroons from Champaign Central. Assistant coach, Bob Miller. Team members, Brad Barker, Craig Carter, Tommy Lockman, Evan Parker Stephen, Nick Schmidt, Ken Sensenbrenner, Will Sensenbrenner, Mark Cinder, John Townsend, Neil Verdick, and Rob Wellman. Congratulations to the Maroons of Champaign Central.
That's the...
And now, please meet the second place warriors of Waubonsie Valley. Waubonsie Valley finished with 129 points. Superintendent Gail Williamson.
Waubonsie Valley, what a great year. Tom Mush worked with his team all year, sat down with Greg Bussie early on. Everybody knew Greg could win 2 individual races, but in order for the team to win a trophy, he would have to forsake that and go for the teams. A lot of people don't think that swimming is a team event, but that's one where it is. Greg had a great race in the 100-yard freestyle, but his teammates, Tim Smizer, Greg Jackson, Ryan Maulding, they all helped him out here in their last relay to win it, and they came in with a second place trophy. What a great job.
Diving coach, Rob Provast. Assistant coach, Barb Carubas. Assistant coach, Jim Marjoram. Assistant coach, Greg Sigo. And now meet the members of the third place Warriors team, Juan Alvarez, Ryan Black, Greg Bussie, Kyle Farrington, Greg Jackson, Wyatt Jansen, Brian Malding, Matt Malding, Eric Padani, Brian Roskins, Jim Rudder, Tim Smizer, Ryan Spratt, and Kurt Treby. Will Coach Tom Mush and his Warriors please come forward to accept the second place state trophy. Of St. Charles, who finished the 1997 season in first place with a score of 135 points. First, please meet the principal of St. Charles, Mrs. Nina Narozny. The athletic director, Wayne DeMar. Their superintendent is Dr. Prentice Costell. And now head coach Joe Cabo. Assistant coach Rob Rooney. And the members of the Saints State Championship team. Gavin Anderson, Chris Carroll, Wesley Ebanks, Craig Kinsler, Brian Kling, Dan Knudsen, Tony Marinacchio, Andy Malauskas, Ryan Muty, Scott Muty, Sean Muty, Matt Munns, Jacob Wassinger, and Shane Wilden. Congratulations, St. Charles, 1997 state champions.
Well, Tim, there you have it, the presentation of the first place trophy. They will raise this puppy high.
And you notice Mary struck off, ran out of the way. She didn't want to go swimming with them. I wonder if those Dayglow hats float.
Well, we almost had one sent our way. Let's see. See who's going to be the first one. I hope that doesn't hurt anybody as they dive in there.
Yeah, they're going down the deep end. Let's see. Well, we know they can swim.
These guys had some practice at this?
Yeah, they've had a little practice at this.
Is this something you do at the end of practice?
I'm sure they've done that a few times, practicing for this moment.
What a great moment. St. Charles, the Saints, are 1997 state champions. And at this time, Sports Channel would like to thank H. David Fry, Mary Struckhoff, and all of those at the Illinois High School Association for making this championship event possible. We'd also like to thank Lee Kennecke, the assistant AD and meet manager, for her cooperation in the coordination of this event. This game was produced and directed by Jim Corno Jr. Graphics coordinator was Tim Carlson. Remote facilities provided by Trio Video. The IHSA events coordinator at Sports Channel is David Turner. Production manager at Sports Channel is Sheila Brown. Congratulations, the St. Charles Saints are 1997 state champions. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of Sports Channel.